In today's video, I'm going to share with you my 2020 holiday gift guide for dads who love games. Hard to believe, but 2020 is, thankfully, just about over, and on the bright side, this means the holidays are right around the corner. So for all the significant others, kids, or other family members out there looking for that perfect gift for your video game-loving dad, I've got you covered. And we're starting right now. People of the internet's Retro Raconteur here. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm just a dad who loves games and the stories they tell. We post videos every week here on YouTube and also stream over on Twitch. It's always baffled me to hear my wife say that it's difficult to buy me gifts. Seems pretty obvious to me, but hey, she's not much of a gamer and isn't really that into tech, so I guess it kind of makes sense. And that's where today's video comes in. We'll run through 10 gaming gift ideas for dads. And honey, if you're watching and still looking for something to get me this year, just saying, a few hints here. I'll be including links to all of these products down in the description below if you're interested in purchasing. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments as well. This year we have the release of 2 next-gen consoles in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. There's also the Xbox Series S, which is a cheaper, less powerful version of the Series X. The problem here is these are going to be insanely hard to find this holiday season. If you haven't pre-ordered already, chances are you probably won't get one this year. There is a third option when it comes to consoles though, and that's the Nintendo Switch. The Switch went through quite a shortage of its own throughout the summer when many of us were locked down and quarantined. It seems that Nintendo has started to catch up with demand though, and you can usually find them in stock online, at least at the time of this recording. That could change. There are 2 versions of the Switch. First, there's the standard version, which can be used on the go or placed in the included dock to play on your TV. There's also the Nintendo Switch LITE, which is a handheld-only version of the system, but it's $100 cheaper. Both run all the same games, and there are a ton of great ones on the Nintendo Switch. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Smash Bros. Are a few of my favorites. The Switch is honestly a great system, even if you plan on getting a PS5 or Xbox Series X at some point. There are just so many top-notch exclusive Nintendo titles that you won't be able to play anywhere else. So what about buying games as gifts? Unless you're buying a brand new system, you may actually want to stay away from buying games for dads. Typically, when you think of buying for gamers, the first item family members think of is a game, right? Makes sense. Here's the problem going this route though. Most dads are going to purchase the main games they want themselves. I know for games that I'm eagerly anticipating, I usually make plans to buy at launch, or perhaps I have some sort of trade-in deal I'm taking advantage of. So if you're thinking about going with that approach, just make sure you check in with dad first to see what games he's already pre-ordered. Also, with new consoles hitting this year, it's more important than ever to make sure you're picking the right version of the game. A lot of the big titles this year are releasing on 4 different platforms: PS4, Xbox One, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Regardless of where your gamer dad likes to play, you can always check out accessories such as extra controllers or headsets as well. If you're looking for an extra controller, you'll mostly want to stick with the first-party options from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. For PS5, Sony has also made their own media remote, headset, and charging dock for the controllers. Now, maybe you're looking for something that dad can enjoy with the kids. In that case, check out Mario Kart Live Circuit. This is a new, I would say kind of an experimental title from Nintendo that uses augmented reality technology to create a racetrack out of your home. Now, this actually does come with a physical kart that will move around your home, so you want to make sure that you have at least a decent amount of space that you can set this up in. Then as you race through your house, you'll also see the action take place on your screen. Lots of fun for both kids and parents here with this one. There's also Nintendo Labo, which has been out for a bit now, and you can usually find it heavily discounted. Labo is an interesting idea from Nintendo that has players putting together physical cardboard items such as a fishing pole, which then interact with games that come bundled in. The fun with Nintendo Labo is the bonding time you get with your kids during the build process. I actually have one of these kits that my son and I have really enjoyed putting together, and then you get to see your creation utilized in-game. Speaking of new tech though, if the dad in your life hasn't jumped into VR yet, now could be the time, as standalone units are getting better and more affordable every year. For this year, I'd recommend the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. This is a standalone VR unit, meaning you don't need an expensive gaming PC or any other extra hardware to use it. The 64GB unit retails for $299. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper or maybe some stocking stuffers here, then there are a great number of books out there on video games. Console Wars by Blake Harris is an oft-recommended title and a great place to start. It tells the story of the 90s rivalry between Nintendo and Sega, which changed the course of video games forever. There's also The Ultimate History of Video Games by Stephen Kent, which is another solid choice. This one focuses on a much broader history of video games spanning across multiple companies and games. If you're looking for fiction titles instead, then check out Ready Player One, which was made into a major motion picture back in 2018. Now, if it's too hard to choose just one book, or maybe your loved one is a big reader, then you could always look into gifting them a subscription to Audible. You can even try Audible yourself with a free 1-month trial to either their Plus plan or Premium Plus plan. Just make sure you cancel before the 30 days is up if you decide not to keep the plan. You can find the links and all the details down in the description. Moving on to our next item, we have video game themed Lego. Again, this is another item families can work on as a group. My son and I love tackling projects like puzzles or Lego together. There are a couple of incredible sets available this year, including both Minecraft and Mario themed sets. The Mario ones are some of my favorites because you can get creative and build your own levels by adding on expansion sets when you're ready. Now, we've talked about consoles, we've talked about games, we've talked about accessories, but one of the most important pieces of furniture for any gamer is going to be their chair. If you're buying for someone who games on a TV and maybe there's not much space or you want something that's easily stowed away, then I highly recommend video rockers. Honestly, it looks like these are made for kids, but I actually find them super comfortable as well. I'd stay away from the more expensive ones, which have like these audio features that you probably won't end up using, and instead focusing on something more basic but comfortable. Now, if you prefer to keep the gifts coming all year long, then you may want to check out Loot Crate and their Loot Gaming subscription box. You can gift your loved one a 1-month, 6-month, or 12-month subscription. Now, if you're not familiar with Loot Crate, how it works is they send out a crate to you each month that includes 4 to 6 items valued at a minimum of $60. The crates may include collectibles, apparel, figures, and more. Part of the fun is the surprise you get when seeing the new crate arrive each month. If you happen to be shopping for kids this year, be sure and check out my other video featuring my top 10 Nintendo Switch games for kids. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.